Hello everyone. So in this video, we are going to talk about three key things that you need to know: segmentation, activation, and activation targets. So once you have already created your DMO and data model object and DLO data lake object in Salesforce Data Cloud, once your data is modeled and understood, that's when segmentation really shines. So all right, let's kick things off with segmentation. So basically segmentation is a purpose of grouping people or profile based on stuff they have in common. That could be their behavior, like what they have clicked on, or maybe their purchase history, or even demographic details. This is super useful because it lets you personalize campaigns, target your best customers, and trigger journey automatically, which, let's be honest, is what we are aiming for. Now let's click on new segment. So as we can see, there are three type of segments. First we have standard segment, and then waterfall segment, and real time segment. So let's discuss what's difference between standard, waterfall, and real time segments. So let's start with standard segment first. So I click on standard segment. I've select the individual from here. Segmentation name is, let's say, individual segment. Next. So here you can see we have standard publish or rapid publish. Standard segment, this one run on a schedule like a daily or weekly, and it's perfect for recurring campaigns like re-engagement or loyalty lists. So here you can see publish schedule. So either you can refresh or after 12 hours or 24 hours, and let's say if I click on 12 hours, then you have to select the start date, start time, end date, and loop back window. So loop back window here, as of now I set it as 90 days, which means Salesforce only consider data from the last 90 days when evaluating or who qualifies for that segment. So if I reduce it, like we can add anything. So let's say if I don't want to refresh, loop back window is this. I click on save. So it created a new segment and it has all my data. So if I can show you that data in my data model object, I have selected individual. So here is that individual. So if I go to the data explorer, if I select DMO and individual from here, so I have 14 columns and here is the data. So this is what we are getting here, all the fields. So now you can either drag and drop which fields you want to include and what's the validation that you want. So let's say if its birth date is before, you can select any date you want here and done. Then it's added this field. If we have any records where we have birth date is before 3rd of June 2025, it's gonna capture all of the records. So now let's move to the different type of segmentation. So let me click on segments again, click on new. So here is the waterfall segment and the real time segment. So what's the difference between waterfall and real time is, so waterfall, think of this as a funnel where people move through stages based on what they do. It's great for business to business journeys or lead creation. And real time segment, this one updates instantly based on the event. So for example, if someone abandoned their cart or view a product, you can react right away. So yeah, this one is on the real time segment. Now, as we have already created this, so now let's jump to the other part, that is activation. So alright, now that we have built our perfect segment, that is standard segment, individual segment, now let's talk about what happens next. Now the next step is activation. This is where the magic really starts. So activation is basically the process of taking that segment and sending it to somewhere, like another system where the marketing actually happens. How it works. So if I click on more, and here you can see activation. Let's create a new activation here. So you have to either select segment or DMO. So let's start with segment first. I will select the segment that we just created, individual segment. So here is the activation target. We will talk about this in a sec. So let's choose any target. Let's say if I choose sales target and click continue, and if I select add the email address, email subscriber, I select email. Next. So the activation name would be individual activation, save. So new activation has been created. So now it has data space as default, as I've selected. Activation status is active right now. Segmentation, the one that we have just created, created individual segment, activation type is segment, and there was another that is DMO that we will discuss in later, and data cloud home and name is individual activation. So activation refresh type, incremental refresh, data model object we have selected is individual. So now let's jump to the activation target. So in simple terms, it's the system that's gonna receive your data. So like you might send this data to marketing cloud for emails and text, so meta ads for Facebook and Instagram retargeting or Google ads. So let's click on more again and activation target, and let's create a new activation target. So we have two options right now, data cloud loyalty and data cloud. So if we have a marketing cloud setup or marketing cloud org, it's gonna display over here. So as of now I don't have, so I'm gonna go with data cloud. So if I click on next, so let's say individual target and data cloud, space would be default, save. So yeah, now activation target is created. Okay, so just to clear up any confusion, because this comes up a lot, here is the difference. So activation is the actual process of sending data between, from activation send the data from DMO to marketing cloud. It's a bridge in between data cloud and marketing cloud, and could be like the destination could be different as well, like if you want to send that data to different sales cloud as well, marketing cloud, and so on. And activation target is where you are sending data, so it would be your destination, like marketing cloud, sales cloud, and so on. Let's take an example. So if you are sending your VIP customer segments to marketing cloud, that whole process is activation, and marketing cloud is your activation target. That's clear now, difference between activation and activation target. That's a wrap. So as part of this video, we have created segments. We have activated that segment with activation, and in activation we have targeted activation target where we have to send the data.